host with the most. I do not brag or boast, and I'm coming to you guys live from coast to coast. It's your boy. I'm Chris Down One. Feel free to hit the subscription button, the notification bell, share this with a friend, family, as well as a follower. Let's get this channel lit in the YouTube algorithm, because we're all well aware of this. The YouTube algorithm know of me, but it just simply doesn't know me, if you dig what I'm saying. All right? Welcome to another edition of Based on a True Story podcast. It's your host, your moderator. I'm Krista Don One. Welcome. Now, if you have not listened to a single episode of Based on a True Story podcast, it's just basically stories about my life, my childhood, the struggle, the pain, the joy, the rain, okay? Just basically stuff like that. But today, we got a special edition of Based on the True Story podcast. So we're going to be talking about what's going on in the internet world. All right. So basically, we're going to break it down like this. So I was on the internet, minding my own business, not bothering nobody, just chilling. You know, particularly on Twitter. Well, formerly known as Twitter, now it's X. I just scroll through all the videos and the posts. Now you scroll on one post, it's like a Bible verse. Then you scroll again, it's a comedy show or a clip from Twitch or TikTok or whatever. Time you get that third or fourth swipe, there's already some corn involved, okay? Some big booty bandit shaking that salt shaker, and then it'd be some hardcore corn, if you dig what I'm saying, all right? A lot of people say it's the algorithm. The algorithm is suggesting videos that you have previously watched. But if you checked out a video and then you swipe it and then instantly some corn gets involved, that don't necessarily mean you was watching corn, but now you're watching corn. So now it's part of your algorithm. So I don't know if Elon Musk is watching this live, but can you do your boy a favor? Can you do your boy a solid? Can you clean out? Can people single-handedly clean out their algorithm? You know, I don't mind watching corn every now and again. I don't mind watching twerking. I don't mind it every once in a while, but, you know, you're in the break room or you're out and about, you're in the courtroom, whatever the case may be. You decide to go on X, you want to check out a few videos, you just want to get your laugh on. You dig what I'm saying? And then you swipe to a video, got your laugh on, then you swipe up, instantly some corn appears, all right? Elon, my boy, my guy, you should have a feature where we could erase our algorithm, erase our history, so it won't appear always in the algorithm. That's just a suggestion. But anywho, like I said, I was swiping through and I saw a clip of Kevin Gates going ham, hotter than a motherfucker. On a lot of people, I guess he was on Instagram or Twitch. I don't know. He was on live, YouTube. He was on live. And people were in the comment section telling Kevin Gates, man, why are you messing with a young girl, a young woman? You know, people in the comment section saying Kevin Gates like 60 pushing 70, and this girl like 26 years old, 23 years old, whatever the case may be. Kevin Gates went off. Kevin Gates said, hey, man, don't tell me what to do. Who in the hell goes to a car lot and get a used car? I want something new. Basically referring to the young girl as a new car versus his old previous models of cars, which is Brittany Reynolds and I forgot his baby mama's name. She's got that weird name where you remember it, you have it in the membrane, and then it just disappears. What is it? Makika Gates? I forgot her name. Anywho, that's neither here nor there. Okay, that's not the whole purpose of this live. So basically, Kevin Gates went off on everybody, basically saying that, he likes them young. I don't have no issue with guys dating younger women. I will say this, you should date somebody that you know something about them and they know something about you. Something, besides messing around in bed, besides spending money on them, besides having a good time, you know, when y'all have conversations and there's no money involved and there's no freakiness going on, okay, what are the conversations going to be based on? Okay, like music. Kevin Gates, he's a rapper. I'm pretty sure he's influenced. He's tapped in the street. He knows what's popping. He knows what's not popping. But let's just say, for an example, music, okay? Like if Kevin Gates wasn't a rapper, let's just say Kevin Gates was just a businessman. A person his age would probably have grown out a little bit of hip hop and rap and maybe get into some adult music or, R&B and stuff like that. So y'all have to have conversations that are relevant to one another. Y'all both understand the flow and the structure of what you're asking and what she's answering. So, I don't have no issue with guys dating younger women. I don't really have no issue of older women dating younger guys. It's not a big thing to me. Long as they legit. I'm not saying you should date somebody that's that's 17 years old. You're gonna be on Dateline NBC. Chris Hansen is gonna be in your kitchen eating cookies, and you just happen to walk in, and now Chris Hansen is asking you some questions that you don't want to answer live and full effect on television. Like your text messages, what you done said to that 17-year-old. But that's neither here nor there. But Kevin Gates do have a point. What does it matter? Why should it matter? Why is everybody's go-to to anybody on social media, particularly on live? Why is they go-to attacking someone's what they prefer when dating? Because I don't think that's a go-to. I don't really think that's a huge flex. If you don't mind dating someone younger, as long as they old enough to younger, even though they're young, they should be old enough to be in an adult type of relationship. And I have met a lot of people who are in their 30s, 40s, 50s, sometimes 60s, and they're not, they maybe the birth certificate says that they are 40, 50, or 60, but in their head, they come off as a child. They just can't follow through with adult conversation. Okay. So just because your birth certificate says that you old, don't mean that you necessarily mature and old. I think that's par for the course. I've met some younger people who are mature, and they come off like you say to yourself, like, man, for someone to be 23, you're thoughtful, you're mature, you carry yourself a little bit differently. You dig what I'm saying? So just because your birth certificate says that you old, don't necessarily mean that you're mature. I think maturity comes part of getting old. Okay. But I've seen it flip on both sides of the equator. To me, I don't see no issue with Kevin Gates dating this girl, because at the end of the day, thanks for the thumbs up, people. Hey, how you doing, Candace? I really do appreciate that thumbs up. To me, I don't even know the girl's name, but to me, we're talking about her now, but 3 or 4 months from now, Kevin Gates gonna move on to the next one. He's gonna bust him out and rush him out. You see Ray J, he was messing around with some young girl that used to mess around with Kevin Gates, some young girl. And I saw they live, and see, y'all need to go watch Ray J and his used to be girlfriend he used to mess with, some young girl. He was on Twitch or whatever. And you see the interaction between the two. Ray J is talking like his age, but when you listen to her, she talks like a child, like she's like 16, 17 years old. They're on Twitch, and she's talking about she done rubbed his balls and his balls smell funky, and stupid stuff like that. Stuff that you would necessarily get out of someone that's older. And and I'm pretty sure this girl, like in her 20s, like 25, 26, but you don't have the maturity there. And then, and Ray J even peeped it. And that's when he broke it off with her. He wanted to go back to India Love, his other baby mama, because he's seen what life is on the other side of the fence. And now he finds out, you know what? It was a whole lot better. It was a whole lot structured when I was messing with my baby mom. So I'm going back to my baby moms, okay? We may not get along. We may not see things eye to eye, but we definitely not going to have conversations like this. I'm on live, entertaining the folks, getting some revenue from that. And you take it upon yourself to tell everybody on live that you don't rub my balls smell like ish, okay? It's just weird, It just comes off weird. Like, you can just clearly tell, like, these two do not have nothing in common. The only reason why she's messing with Ray J is a name, I guess. He's somebody, I guess. And she had to have a rebound from Kevin Gates. Kevin Gates dropped her. He busted her out and rushed her out. Ray J dropped her, busted out and rushed her out. Now, I'm pretty sure she's going to go on social media. She was already crying when he was breaking up with her. But see, that's what I'm saying. If you was dating somebody your age or older and you break up with them, they're not going to react that way. Not on live, not for the whole world to see. Now, they may do that in private, but to me, I feel like it's just too much maintenance in dating a young woman. To me, from what I gathered and what I've seen other people do, I don't think that's the route for me. That's a huge no for me. I'm not dating anybody younger than me, okay? And I'm not dating no girl. I'm not dating no woman that just wears, to me, it just don't, I don't see how we can have a productive conversation or even a productive relationship. I'm not saying every young female is like this, but to me, I just don't see it. Now, I've heard other guys say, man, I date them young. I don't want no old thing. I want a young thing. And another thing is, and a lot of guys don't say this, but man, come on, guys. Let's just be honest. The real reason why you date young, because they don't know any better. They're not seasoned veterans. They're green rookies. They don't know the game. They don't know what you really want her for. A older woman, she peeps game. She knows what you're trying to do. You're trying to bust her out and rush her out. Soon as she get you some, soon as you get some, you're gonna bust her out, rush her out, and you're gonna move on to the next one. Okay? So a lot of things you can get away with a young female, you're not going to get away with it with an older woman. An older woman ain't going to have it, okay? And when I say older woman, a lot of you guys are going to say, you talking about somebody that's 60? You talking about somebody? An older woman can be 20, 26, 25, 30. But that's an older woman. She's been around the block a couple of times. She knows what guys really mean when they say what they say. Someone that's a seasoned veteran that just knows better, okay? Knows right from wrong. So a young girl, she just now established, she just now started. She's looking at it like this, okay? If I hook up with Kevin Gates, I hook up with Ray J, I can get my numbers popping on social media. My TikTok's gonna pop, my Instagram's gonna pop. Hell, I might throw in an OnlyFans, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of young girls, I'm not saying all young girls, but a lot of young girls, they look at it as, they look at the relationship as not they're in love with them. And I'm not saying that they're not in love with them, but they look at it as monetary. Like, I'm going to be established. I'm going to be made. My social media is going to pop. And if my social media pops, then, my money should pop. I'm going to be using his money. I'm going to be using his stature. It's something like that. And the same thing could be true for a successful rich woman. A young guy's going to walk up and say, oh man, I can get this going. I can get that going. I'm connected to, whoever. You dig what I'm saying? So to me, a lot of guys, I feel like you have to have a lot of patience dating someone younger than you. And you can't necessarily blame them. They just ain't been around the block a lot, so you got to have a lot of patience. You got to understand, like, they're at a level where they're not mature yet. So you have to wait until they hit their growth spurt, you know? If you're older and you're dating a younger guy, I mean younger woman, or younger male, younger female, whatever. Okay. So yeah, I kind of wanted to harper on that. And we're gonna segue into Rory and Mal. Seems like a bunch of tweets have been uncovered about what Rory said, back in the day. A lot of these tweets are put to light, and it makes Rory looks kind of crazy, makes him look sideways, and now he's a lot of people feel like he's being canceled. He's in the cancel culture done canceled him. A lot of people don't think that podcast is going to survive much longer. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. Rory and Mal, that first season, I'm pretty sure they were popping. But then after that, when they stopped talking about Joe Budden, because that's the only reason why people came to watch them anyway, to see what they were going to say about Joe Budden. And now when people grown tired of it and they have tried to do other things, that podcast is not popping the way they think it's popping. So that podcast was pretty much out the door anyway. I just feel like if they're going to use this as a reason that the podcast is going to close up shop because of these controversial tweets Roy made like so long ago. Okay? But yeah, that's all I want to say about that. Yeah, so I'm pretty much, if anybody got some stuff to say to me, questions, answers, now is the time. Oh, Elizabeth Cute says hi. Hey, what's up, Elizabeth? I'm so sorry. I didn't get your message. Candace says, I'm just a kid. She says hi. Or he said, just a kid. Okay. I think around that time I was talking about older people dating older people dating younger people. So, I think you're probably talking about okay. So yeah, anybody else got something else to say before I head on up out of here? Because I kind of want to get active with you guys, see what's going on. Yeah. So I like to appreciate the thumbs up. Ooh. Also like to appreciate everybody that's been checking out these episodes. I really do appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. If you guys want me to tell you some more stories, hit me up in the comment section on these live streams, and I will talk about it on the next live stream. I'm gonna try to do that instead of you guys trying to find me on my other social media platforms. I figured you might as well just do it this way. So yeah, I'm gonna head up out of here. I'm gonna wait till it gets to that 20-minute mark, and then I'm about to bounce. You dig what I'm saying? But if anybody else ain't got nothing else to say, ain't got nothing to ask me, just ask me whatever you want to ask me. Hey, it's gotta be respectable. It's gotta be clean. It can't be about no private matters or anything like that. So I'm thinking about going to the expo. They had an expo of of they had an expo for the oh my god, for the corn stars in my area. I was thinking about going to one of them joints. I said to myself, you know what, that would be probably good for a content creator. I bring out my camera, uh, and do a couple of segments, do a couple of videos. I mean, just record enough footage where I can upload the videos. But then I started thinking to myself, you know, a lot of those adult performers, they probably charge a fee. You just can't just randomly walk up to them and ask them questions, you know. So I was saying to myself, I don't think that's going to be a good look. Plus, what they're going to be wearing and things like that. I'm going to have to go through all the videos and delete certain parts or block certain things that you can see on the video. So, yeah, I said, nah, but I do want to kind of do stuff like that because I got me a decent camera. I just need to get some more memory on it. I got to get extra memory for it. So, yeah. Anywho, I'm going to get up out of here. I'll talk to you guys tonight. I'm going to have a story for you guys. I got this, man, crazy, wild story, but I've been holding on it. I've been letting it simmer. I've been letting it cook for a minute now. So I don't know if I'm gonna bring it out tonight, but definitely I got a real wild story. I just got other things on the burner that I want to put out before I put that one out, okay? Because that one's gonna be the one. It's gonna do numbers. It's gonna do numbers, okay? So I'll talk to you guys later. Peace. I'm gone. Douche.